Hello, how is everybody doing? Thank you yet again for joining me for another workshop in my 2024 monthly workshop series to inform and empower you on your journey to live a less toxic lifestyle. And I'm not talking about drama in your family or friend group. Although truly the less toxicity in all parts of our lives, the better, right? So, for anyone who's joining us for the first time around, my name is Christine Barnes, and I am your friendly virtual neighborhood wellness enthusiast and green and clean living advocate. My personal mission is to help you live your very best life for as long as possible. And I've decided that in 2024, the best way for me to make a big impact on the world around me is to share with you the information that I've gained through my own years of curiosity, research, and desire to live a cleaner lifestyle that's safer for me, safer for my kids, and safer for the planet. Because I believe that when you are informed, you're empowered. And once we know better, we can do better for ourselves and for the ones that we love, be it humans or animals, for our pet lovers out there. And by the way, if you happen to be catching this as a replay, please comment with the word replay so I can get a good read on how these workshops are being utilized by people. And of course, if you're taking in this information and you've got people running through your mind that could benefit from hearing it, please, please, please share this workshop with them. This information matters, and knowing how to make these little changes that will make a big impact on our well-being over time, these are tools that people need. So let's get down to business. I'm going to go ahead and screen share with you. Here we go. So far in 2024, we have covered the dangers of fragrances and learned to identify them in our products. We also learned a natural way to keep our home smelling incredible for very little to no cost at all. And we learned a way to simplify our laundry routine and the reasons why changing your laundry products can have the biggest impact on your wellness due to the permeability of our skin. If you missed either of these workshops, please do go back and give them a watch or a listen because they're packed with valuable information. And finally, what you've all been waiting for, tonight's topic is summer sunscreen, what you need to know. Ready or not, my friends, and I think most of us are probably ready. Summer is coming, and that means sunshine and a lot more time being spent outdoors, which is great because of the vitamin D, right? But what about sunburns? What about our little ones who want to play in the sunshine for hours? What about us who want to play in the sun for hours? Or work in our yards or float around in the pool? What is the best way to protect ourselves, and is it even necessary? Also, oops, excuse me. Also, what else comes with summers and spending more time outdoors? Do you guys know? Put it in the comments. What else comes in summer and spending more time outdoors? I know you know. It's the bugs. All different kinds of bugs, and the ones that bother me the most around the campfire are mosquitoes. So tonight I'm also going to share a very simple and natural hack for keeping mosquitoes at bay all summer long. Are you ready? Let's do this. So the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is vitamin D. Vitamin D is a powerful vitamin, and there are a lot of really important things that I'm sure you'll be interested in learning about. And the most important, of course, being why doesn't vitamin D use GPS? Anyone? Put in the comments. Any guesses? It's because vitamin D always follows the sun. Seriously, though, our bodies need vitamin D. Vitamin D's main job is to allow the body to absorb calcium, which is critical to keeping our bones strong throughout our lifetime. Some studies have even linked vitamin D to positive health benefits like helping with depression and even reducing the risk of certain cancers. So how do you get vitamin D? There are actually 3 ways to get vitamin D into our bodies. Number 1 is food. Certain foods like salmon, tuna, mackerel, beef liver, egg yolks, things like that contain high amounts of vitamin D. And there's also foods like milk, cereal, and some orange juices that are vitamin D fortified. But because we don't consume large enough quantities of these foods, they can't necessarily be our only source of vitamin D, which is why many people also take vitamin D supplements, which I, of course, would recommend consulting with your doctor before deciding on any kind of vitamin regimen that would work for you. And then finally, why we're here tonight, because you can also get your vitamin D from the sun, okay? Because when your skin is exposed to the sun, whoops, sorry about that. When your skin is exposed to the sun, it can manufacture its own vitamin D. Isn't that crazy? I've said it, I say it all the time. I said it before, I'll say it again. Our bodies are so amazing what they can do. All right, so how much sun exposure do we need in order to get our daily dose of vitamin D? As it turns out, it truly doesn't take much time at all. Between April and September, light skin types need just 10 to 15 minutes of daily exposure to midday sun. Darker skin types need 25 to 40 minutes of daily exposure. And this is just because darker skin contains more melanin, which provides a greater protection to UV exposure. This is also why, important to note, this is also why vitamin D deficiency is more common in people with darker skin types. And side note, sitting next to a window all day does not count as exposure to the sun, okay? Most windows these days will block UV rays, and we need the UV rays in order to begin synthesizing our own vitamin D. Okay, so knowing this, we can infer that exposure to the sun that is above and beyond these numbers means we should probably be taking precautions. Here's what you should know about the sun. The sun emits 3 types of UV rays. UVC rays, which are the shortest waves, and they don't penetrate the Earth's atmosphere. Okay, so right now, at this point in our lives, we don't need to worry about that. Then there's UVA and UVB rays, both of which can reach the Earth's surface, and therefore it can reach us as well. UVB rays can cause our skin to burn and show signs of aging over time. UVB is also the kind that we need to make our vitamin D. So that's where we run into that kind of balance that we need to find. UVA rays can penetrate the skin's surface, causing wrinkles and aging. UVA rays can even suppress the immune system, which could result in skin cancer down the road. Okay, so remember, UVA, A is for aging, UVB, B is for burning. That's a good way to remember the two. And what the big difference is. The bottom line, though, is that we want to keep our sun exposure little and often, and then protect ourselves the rest of the time. So how can we protect ourselves from the sun? Easy. We can stay in the shade, or we can cover up with a big hat and sunglasses, long light sleeves, long pants, or a skirt, and that will work for some people. And that is what I recommend personally for infants and toddlers, but quite likely it won't work for most people. So the next best option that we all reach for is sunscreen. So what to look for in a sunscreen? Let's talk about how to choose the right sunscreen. First and foremost, I personally recommend avoiding aerosol spray sunscreens. I know, don't shoot the messenger, but one of the side effects of manufacturing aerosols specifically is sometimes the synthesis of benzene occurs. This means that benzene ends up in the product. It's not supposed to be there, but but it ends up in there. So you wouldn't see it on the ingredients or anything like that. And there have been multiple recalls, various aerosol products over the years because they were contaminated with trace amounts of benzene from the manufacturing process. So this includes deodorants, sunscreens, dry shampoos, athlete's foot sprays, things like that. And the bottom line in my mind, and this is fact, there is no safe amount of benzene for humans. Period. It does cause cancer. Period. So I make it a practice to just simply avoid aerosols wherever I can because I don't want unintentional exposure to a byproduct of the manufacturing product process that people don't even know is in there. Okay, so I strongly recommend avoiding aerosols wherever you can. Next, look for the words broad spectrum on the label because this means it blocks both UVA and UVB rays. And then once you've confirmed that it indeed says broad spectrum, flip it over and take a look at the ingredients. What you want to look for is a mineral sunscreen as opposed to a chemical one. A mineral sunscreen creates a physical barrier that will protect your skin from harmful sun rays, whereas a chemical sunscreen absorbs the UV light like a sponge, converts it to heat, and then releases the heat from the skin. Now, that's all a chemical reaction with chemicals that you're putting onto your skin. We discussed during February's workshop, how permeable the skin is. So please, if you haven't seen that workshop, go back and watch that and learn a little bit about the permeability of skin and what happens when you put chemicals onto your skin. And in recent studies, in fact, it has shown that the chemicals in the chemical-based sunscreens are absorbed at concentration levels higher than even the FDA's safety threshold. And the concern is that these chemicals disrupt hormones in the body, which is linked to cancer again. And yet again, here I am sharing this slide tonight because the statistics show just how prevalent cancer actually is. And yes, sun exposure can increase our risk of cancer, but as it turns out, wearing a chemical-based sunscreen can be just as hazardous to our long-term health. So let's get back to choosing the best sunscreen for us and our loved ones, whether it's little kids, aging parents, it's the people we want to make sure are taken care of, especially when we're out in the sun. So go ahead and if you're on your phone, you can take a screenshot of this slide because it shows the ingredients you want to avoid as well as the safe ingredients clean sunscreens are typically made with. So those are the ingredients that you want to keep an eye out for. As you can see in chemical sunscreens, some of the common ingredients include oxybenzone, avobenzone, octisalate. Not sure how to say half of these. But all that stuff that you can't really read because you can just tell they're chemicals, okay? In mineral sunscreens, you have ingredients like zinc oxide, titanium dioxide. Those are two of the main common ingredients you will find in a mineral-based sunscreen that are safe for you to use. And again, that's going to be better for sensitive skin. It's going to create a barrier on top of the skin that protects you from the environment, whether it's the sun, free radicals that are out in there, in nature, whatever. Okay. And remember back in my January workshop on fragrances, we went over some apps you can use to check products while you're in the store for safety. Okay, so you can go back to that workshop, see what those apps are, and you can always just scan sunscreens in the store and it will tell you, is it a safe sunscreen to buy and use? Okay. Now there's one more point that I want to touch on, and this is for those people who might work in an office or at a desk with a computer, or maybe you spend a lot of time looking at a phone screen for long hours each day. Something that is really shocking for many of us to hear is that the blue light emitted from electronic devices like a computer screen or a cell phone can actually speed up the aging process. How many of us are excited about that? Anybody? I don't think so. Okay. How many of us spend a lot of time on our computers or on cell phones? How many of us lay in bed just like this guy and just sit on our cell phones looking at things? Um, so good news is we don't need to worry about cancer, at least not from the blue light on this one, but we do need to worry about our skin cells rapidly dying and in turn speeding up the aging process. So that's why you might have noticed recently red light therapy masks are becoming very popular these days. So the question might be, what does that have to do with sunscreen? It just means that a really good mineral-based facial sunscreen, because it provides that physical barrier, you can protect your skin from blue light and other pollutants that are out in the world. I have one that I use every day. It's the last part of my skincare routine. I put it on, I love it. And it's very luxurious, but besides the point, I just know that I'm protecting my skin because I do spend time on my phone during the day. I work from home. So if I'm not at a computer, I'm sometimes working from my phone. So that's important to me that I'm protecting myself from that on a daily basis. Okay, so what about summer bugs? Okay, finally, I know that this is what some of you showed up to this for, what you've been waiting for, because I know that with summer, we don't only need to worry about the sun, we also need to worry about those pesky mosquitoes coming around. And bug sprays are among some of the most toxic products around for a multitude of reasons to us and to the planet. Okay, wouldn't it be nice if there was something already in our cabinets that we could use in a pinch? There is. There is, and I bet you have it in your cabinet right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is vanilla extract. That's right. If you haven't heard this before, I'm telling you, it works like a charm. You can put it on just like a lotion and it works wonders. So if you have a big bottle of it, you can just put it right in your hands, rub your hands together and rub it on your body. And it's safe for you. It's safe for little kids. It smells nice. The way that it works is it is such a potent smell for bugs that it makes it so they cannot find their prey. So essentially it masks the odor that mosquitoes are looking for when they go for a blood meal. You can also dilute it in a spray bottle. I recommend a 1-to-1 dilution ratio of vanilla to water. So if you do a tablespoon of vanilla, a tablespoon of water. If you do a 1/4 cup of vanilla, a 1/4 cup of water. And then you can also add in a couple drops of an essential oil that you love. So something like lavender, lemongrass, or peppermint, which will also all repel bugs. Okay, when you guys try this, I want you to come back here and tell me, how did it work for you? And finally, one more fun hack or tip. If you are unaware, you can make your own vanilla. Has anyone ever tried this before? It is incredibly simple. I was surprised when I learned how you can make vanilla, how easy it is. And it's fun. And it makes for a great gift. All you need is 80 proof vodka and vanilla beans. Okay, now is the perfect time of year to get these bottles going, and then you'll have them ready for holiday gifts at the end of the year. The ratio is, and you might want to write this down, 13 ounces of vodka per vanilla bean. Or if you're doing a big, like if you get a big giant gallon of alcohol, of vanilla, then I would say for 1 gallon of alcohol, 23 ounces of vanilla beans. And it's very simple. Just like you see it here in this picture, all you do is drop the vanilla beans into the vodka and let it sit. It marinates. Every once in a while, excuse me, you take the bottle, flip it over, and then flip it back over. You just give it kind of like, just give it a little zhuzh here, like flip it over, flip back, back over from time to time. And now you're going to let it marinate. I said it would be ready for the holidays at the end of the year. You're going to want it to marinate at least, they say you can use it after 8 weeks. No, no, no. You want to wait at least 6 months, if not a full year. So if you do it now, that gives you about 9 months until the holidays. So do this tomorrow. Get your little nice fancy bottles. Get your vanilla beans and your vodka, and then you'll be done for your holiday shopping already. And then finally, last but not least, from my family to yours, thank you so much for taking the time to listen and to learn and to share this with the people that you care about. I know that time is our greatest commodity, so it means a lot to me that you've chosen to dedicate this time to learning a little more to help you live your very best life while also being good to the planet. And of course, as always, my family is my reason why. This is why I choose to share this information. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. If you want to know which products I choose to use, which sunscreen I choose to use for my face or for my body, you can reach out. If you want to know what products I use in place of some of those aerosol products, whether it be deodorant or dry shampoo, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to answer your questions. Our next workshop will be next month, April 30th at 8 p.m. I try to keep the workshops under 30 minutes. Tonight we finished a little early, so that's exciting. I don't want it to take too much of your time if it doesn't need to. So April 30th, 8 p.m., same time, same place. And April is Earth Month, so there will be a special Earth Month themed event, and I will be announcing it very soon, because living our very best lives means that we are good to ourselves and we are also good to this beautiful planet. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next month. Let me know in the comments what you found most useful about this video, about this workshop, and please share it with a friend that you think would benefit from this information. Have a great night. See you soon. Bye.